Welcome to Paige's Lessons, a podcast dedicated for those who seek advice and wisdom on how to become the best versions of themselves in the most authentic way. If you identify as someone who is ambitious, goal-driven, and a badass, you've come to the right place. Self-reflection, mental health awareness, and exploring life's transitions is at the heart of our conversations because I truly believe every single day provides a lesson. I'm your host, Paige Mitchell, a board-certified life coach, motivational speaker, and mental health advocate. I can't wait to share these golden nuggets with you. Welcome to the final episode of Season 5 of Paige's Lessons. This series was completely dedicated towards my traveling abroad journey, solo backpacking. I sold all my things in California and decided to take a one-way flight on July 4th, literally being like, fuck Independence Day, America. Goodbye, I'm going to London. LA to London, one way, and just travel for 6 months, see what would happen. And so every single episode, I documented my journey, where I was staying, the lessons learned, the food I ate, the people I met, the shit that went wrong, the shit that went right. It was such a cool journey. So I'm so grateful to have this season documented in this way. I also have it documented in my Instagram. Paige is abroad, all periods in between. You could find that in my show notes, but that's a visual documentation, a visual journal, if you will, of just a collage of my memories of this abroad trip. I can't believe it's been 6 months already, but here we are. So I think how I want to end this and wrap this up is I've been receiving some questions from you guys through instant messaging, what the fuck? Instagram. Wow, I'm a true millennial, kids. Have you ever heard of instant messaging before? I am. God. No, from Instagram message. I've been getting questions from you about overall my journey, and I've wanted to share some really cool questions, like, for example, what's the longest train ride you've been on? Or what was your favorite burger? Just some really cool, random, but abroad questions. So I wanted to have some fun, answer some of those here right now, and then kind of wrap up with some lessons and then what you're going to be looking forward to in season 6. So let's start it off with a couple of questions, couple Q&A from the audience, from you guys. So, and what I've realized too, as you have, I have all this content now of different like Q&A. I'm thinking of making video, like short little video clips, either putting them on TikTok or making some kind of reel or even YouTube shorts. I want to craft it in a way so that you can get this information very quickly. And so that's kind of what I'm like creating right now, is just it's going to be like this go-to short of these questions. But I'll answer some here on this podcast. So say the first one I said, what's the longest train ride you've been on? So I had to look up in my documents. Because I've been taking a lot of fucking trains. Like I should have counted how many train rides total, but I would say the longest would probably be from Prague to Budapest. I want to say that was like a 5-hour train ride. So the Czech Republic to Hungary was long as hell. And then from there, I did Budapest to Vienna, I did that by bus, which was also like 5 hours. But yeah, I would say that was my longest train ride. And on that particular train ride, it was really nice. I sat next to, random assignment, sat next to this woman, and I just told her my life journey, and she told me about her life as well, and she was just so sweet. She lives in Prague, but she was visiting a friend in Budapest, so it was really cool to I have really good luck with train strangers. Like, I really do. Whoever I sit next to, it's kind of like a God's angel thing. Like, who is this random individual that speaks English? Thank you. That's nice to communicate. But yeah, it's been really interesting of the people I run into on the train and like the connections I've made just sitting on the train with somebody. And what was really beautiful was, and I think I made a podcast episode about this, maybe I not, but what was really special about that train from Prague to Budapest was those were two cities I did not have on my itinerary. Like, when I decided to do this backpacking trip, I had pretty clear idea mapped out of the countries I wanted to visit. Czech Republic and Hungary was not at all on the map. It was too far east because I wanted to stick closer west. But those ended up being my favorite, like one of my favorite memorable moments were those two cities. So I'm super grateful for that. And also just the lady in general that I sat next to on that long train ride. It helped a lot just pass the time talking about our lives. But she was so sweet. She said, you know, I noticed, Paige, you have a cross tattooed on your wrist. Is there anything you want me to pray for you? Like, is there anything I could pray that'll help? And I just started to tear up because that's so kind to make that gesture. Whether you're religious or not, it's just nice to have someone think of like you and their thoughts. So, you know, I just shared with her, like, just, you know, if you could just pray that I have safe journeys, safe travels, and just to have God watch over me, right? Have the universe protect me, which was just really sweet. So that was my longest train ride. I'll also share, so Paige, what was your most favorite burger your whole solo travel trip? So burgers for me is just kind of my go-to. It's something super simple. You can't really fuck it up, but I'm very specific with the quality of meat. And I don't make a fuss, or in Ireland, we don't faff about, with the dressing, the toppings. I'm a super plain bitch, like burger, meat, cheese, bun. Burger, cheese, bun. That's it. I don't need all the fixings. So my favorite burger, I'll do top 3. My favorite burger of the whole time that I traveled was actually in Bratislava, which you can check out that episode. That was a really fun trip. That was a day trip in Slovakia, and that burger was so fucking good. It was just a random, it was a Google review. I kind of because it was a day trip, I didn't have anything really planned. I just was like, I'm just going to go to Bratislava and just walk around and spend 6-7 hours there. And then I'll catch a bus back to Vienna and we'll just make a day of it. So I kind of just looked around on Google of good burger reviews. And I saw this one place that was a hole in the wall. And I was like, you know what? I'm getting good vibes here. And so I went in. They had this sauce. It was like a remoulade sauce or kind of Thousand Island dressing sauce. I'm trying to think of something similar, but this sauce just oozed out of the bun, and it just melted in my mouth, and it actually had fucking crispy bacon, people. Okay, here in Europe, in the UK, when you say bacon, it is not what Americans think is bacon. That fucking bacon is like ham. It's gross. It's not cooked all the way. It's gnarly. But this was actually crispy bacon. And I think they call it streaky bacon in the UK. But anyway, I loved it. It was amazing. So that was burger number 1, was Bratislava. Burger number 2, I did go on a date with someone in Vienna, and we had burgers at this restaurant. We sat outside. It was just a really nice burger joint. I don't know, man. That also melted in my mouth. It was super basic with fries on the side, but I really enjoyed that too. It was really juicy. And yeah, just the cheese was really thick. It was a good layer. So that was number 2 of like best burger, was in Vienna. And then burger number 3, I would say, it's gonna be this I wish I wrote it down, but there was this really good burger I had in Dublin for a delivery. It was one of those Uber Eats last minute things that I was like, fuck it, like, I'm hungry, I'm not gonna go out. And it was even like stock photo, you know, like those Google images that this probably isn't really the actual restaurant. They're using a fake picture, but it was really good. It hit the spot. So yeah, those are my top 3 burgers: Bratislava, Vienna, and Dublin. And the last fun question that I got that I will leave you with is grocery store stories. You know what? Here's what I'll say. I'll only talk about one grocery store right now, which is called Lidl. Lidl. And that, I don't know if it's in, I really don't know other parts of Europe and UK where, I mean, they're everywhere. But Lidl, oh my God, it is such a shit show. You walk in, and yes, they have the produce, you know, the fruit and veg. They got the bread on the right-hand side. But then there's this middle fucking aisle. And there is a comedian that says it's like space junk. And that's literally what it is. It's like this middle aisle of like the most random shit. You'd think you're in Home Depot. It's like, let me get a pair of leggings right next to a shovel, right next to Windex, and also like, you know, fucking Christmas candy that's expired. Like, Lidl makes no fucking sense. I don't understand the logic of the aisles. So yeah, whenever I shopped there, it was always like, what am I gonna find? Really random. Like, it just didn't make sense. Another grocery store story, I think, is, I'm gonna tell you right now, it is so hard to find these 2 items in the UK and Europe. Like, it just is. I mean, did I find it? Sometimes, yes. But it is so hard to find peanut butter. Like, creamy peanut butter. Just peanut butter in general. A lot of countries did not have peanut butter in the grocery store. It wasn't in a bodega. I'd have to go to like a bigger, like Tesco or something. Like, I'd have to go to a bigger store. But a lot of countries just didn't even offer peanut butter. So that was annoying, because peanut butter is just like my go-to shit when I'm in an emergency. Yeah, that was really hard. And then the other item that is just not popular at all, turkey slices. You would think like the deli section, right? No, it's like sliced chicken, ham, pork, I don't know, some weird shit. No fucking turkey. And if there was turkey, it was questionable turkey. There was other meats, right? Like salamis. And also pepperoni is not pepperoni of what you think of in the States. Like, it's just fucking weird salami. It's just not, it doesn't taste good. It doesn't taste the same. So, turkey and peanut butter, which are my staple sandwiches of just comfort food, right? I'm a fucking 5-year-old, trapped in a 33-year-old body. That was really hard. So those are my grocery stores for you, stories. It's really hard. So I am looking forward to, when I go back to America, those, to just go back to like the foods that I know. It has been fun, like trying new chocolates and like, ooh, what's this kind of bread? And, oh, what's this frozen thing? And it's been fun, but I'm kind of like, all right, I'm kind of looking forward to my own home food, USA food. So those are fun, but I wanted to now leave you with some final takeaways overall. And this is kind of hard to wrap up, but it took Christmas Day on my birthday, which is also like being alone. It took that time for me to sit down and cry, but this crying was really fucking wholesome. It really was about connecting with my body, because I've just been on the go for so long. And yes, I've had my downtime, I've had relaxing time, I've enjoyed being in the present, but I needed to cry and like reflect, because I'm really fucking proud of myself. And I can say that logically, and I can hear other people say to me that they're proud of me for all the adventures I've been on and fucking going for it and being brave and being on my own. And I can logically write that down and be like, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, I did that. But for a while, I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel how proud I was. So it took Christmas for me to just like sit with my own emotions and cry it out and be like, yeah, Paige, you fucking did it. I'm so proud of you. Like baby Paige, childhood Paige is just like so proud of her for doing this journey. So my lesson and message to you is, when was the last time you were proud of yourself? Like truly proud that you accomplished something, that you went through an experience? Like, can you sit with yourself and honor that? Beyond just a mental checklist, bucket list thing of like, yep, did it. Can you really sit with yourself? Can you really sit and feel how proud you are? And I know this, like, being proud is an ego thing, but fuck it. I want to be proud of myself, and I want to embrace it. So that's what I did. And so I challenge you to think about ways you can honor yourself and being proud of all the things you've done in your life and all the resilience, because you are a resilient fucking human and you're creative as well. You will always figure out a way. And I'll also say, from this trip, I've been so on my own, solo traveling, obviously, that I forgot how to socialize. I forgot how to be around other people for a long period of time. And with that comes a lot of hyper independence. Now, I've always been a very independent girl, being an only child, just being very self-sufficient. Nothing wrong with that. But what about when other people try to offer to help you? Do you reject them? Do you feel like it's weak? So I'm being challenged right now, because what I've decided to do for season 6 is open up more uncomfortability. I really wanted to be challenged this past 6 months, traveling alone and traveling to different countries and learning different languages and all this constant new stimulation and being overwhelmed and highlight of uncomfortable. Well, Paige, let's continue to push being uncomfortable, because at least I had the comfort of being on my own, which means I could do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. But now for season 6, I'm going to continue to travel abroad, but it's going to be the USA version. So I'm going to go all the way from New York City, and I'm going to make it all the way back to LA. And I'm going to continue to just hit certain cities, visiting friends, visiting family members, and I'm going to mainly do couch surfing. I'm going to be staying with people and get back into this community of the people that love me, and just get even more perspective, and being out of my comfort zone, which means I'm being in their space. So that's really hard for me, because I'm so used to being on my own. So this is another level of discomfort that I'm going to embrace, and I'm going to share with you on this journey of what it's going to be like. And personal space is a really big deal. It's boundaries. It's practicing speaking up for yourself, addressing your needs, compromise. Like, this is going to be a good growth opportunity for me to practice what I preach. And especially with staying other people, you have to consider other people's schedules and, their space and being respectful. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm very grateful for those that are offering for me to stay with them during this U.S. tour. But that's where I'm at. I'm still traveling. I'm still excited for this adventure, but I'm actually going to be with people who love and care about me and are offering their homes. So that's what season 6 is going to be about. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being uncomfortable, but I'm also looking forward to the many conversations and still places that I haven't explored yet. So next stop is New York. That will be the first episode of season 6. Look out for that. And until then, thank you again so much for staying with this journey with me. If you've listened from season 1 all the way to season 5, happy you're here, and take care of yourself and keep fucking going, you fucking badass. Thanks so much for listening to Paige's Lessons with me, Paige Mitchell. You can find me on several social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all using the same handle at paigemitchell.coach. Got any questions about the show? Send me an email at connect@paigemitchell.coach, located in the show notes. And if you really like the show, don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening to this so you don't miss an episode. Please make sure to leave a rating and review because I love hearing your observations, takeaway, and personal journey. Remember, every day provides a lesson. You got this.